Hey guys, what's up? Majestic Gaming here, and today we're going to be doing the second part of my Halo Collectibles retrospective series, and in this video we're going to be going over the nice high-end Halo collectibles over the last couple years from manufacturers like 3A, Sideshow, and Weta. So all these are actually really nice figures and statues, and they're all going to be priced at around at least 200. Some are going to be way more, some are going to be significantly less than that, but somewhere they're all around there, and they all do cost a lot of money, so your average consumer probably isn't going to get this if they're not a huge fan. So starting off with the first manufacturer we're going to go over is Sideshow Collectibles. Now if you're into nice high-end collectibles, you probably know of them, you've heard of them. They do like DC, Marvel, pop culture. They even do like real people, like sometimes instead of fictional characters. They make really nice high-end collectibles, and they have actually produced some really cool Halo statues in the past. And although I believe it's been around 6 years and there were only 3 that I remember that I could also find that they made, they're really cool. So the first one they made for the release of Halo CE Anniversary, and it of course is going to be a Mark V Master Chief, and this is just an absolutely beautiful looking figure that while really expensive does look great. I love the base, I just love the design, and if you are really interested in buying this, it's insanely expensive, and it is going for around $1,400 I believe on eBay right now. So yeah, it's a really great solid looking figure that is going to be really expensive. In addition to the Chief figure, they also made 2 red and blue Mark V Spartans, exactly like the Chief figure in the same pose with the same weapons, and it did have some different accessories and weapons you could change it with, like a needler, an assault rifle, a pistol, and some different arms. I don't have it obviously because it's incredibly expensive and I wasn't really collecting at the time this came out, but if you do want to get them, they're all solid figures, and especially if you have them all posed together, it just looks awesome. But the Chief is my personal favorite just because of how the green looks. I just really liked it. So moving on to some more statues, we have Weta Collectibles, I believe is how you pronounce it, Weta, I'm not really sure, but I'd be willing to bet you've at least seen pictures of their statues online at some point, and looking at their full line they did, it is really cool though. So from what I could find, Weta produced 4 absolutely breathtaking Halo 3 statues that are extremely hard to find now, and of course really pricey. So first is a Master Chief fighting grunts that just looks fantastic, and I just really love the kind of stylized look of the grunts and the Chief armor, and just the pure attention to detail in this statue is great. Also the pose and the base of the statue are just amazing, and overall it's just really cool. Next we have the Master Chief and the Flood statue, which I don't like as much as the Grunt statue, but it is still really cool. It's very similar, but the Flood sculpt overall is pretty solid, but just like the other statue, it is a really good statue overall, and the details continue to be amazing. Then their next one, which is probably one of my favorite pieces of Halo merchandise of all time, is the Halo 3 Chief and Arbiter statue, and this is just such a cool statue that obviously takes inspiration from that one scene that everyone has posters of and everyone has pictures of the two of them in the Covenant when they're back to back, music kicks in, and everyone's happy and it's just awesome. So the sculpts of the Arbiter and Chief obviously look great, and yeah, just look at it. Look at it, it's fantastic. And it's awesome, and unfortunately it is really hard to find now, and I know a ton of people don't have it. And yeah, they also did finally make a Cortana statue that you've probably seen, and yeah, it's pretty cool. I really like Cortana's Halo 3 design as opposed to her Halo 2 and Halo CE design, and even like her Halo 5 design, which we don't need to talk about that, and seeing that awesome Halo 3 design in a statue just looks really cool, and having Chief's hand be the base with the AI chip just all works really well. And yeah, of course it's very pricey, and I'm sure, like I said, you might have seen it already, but it's definitely a great looking statue. So Weta statues overall are all really nice, really expensive, and they just have some nice well-known, well-made Halo collectibles. I'm sure they'll never make any more again, but if that somehow happened, that'd be awesome, and I'd maybe even try to get my hands on them since I wasn't able to do that in the first place. And they also did make some kind of all silver metal variants. Some people said that there are only like one of each in the world. I don't know all the details, I don't really know who has them and whatnot, but they exist. I don't know if it's just one of each, but nevertheless they exist, and it's cool having that kind of limited availability of these cool, really nice high-end statues. So yeah, overall, Weta, really nice stuff, and if you are able to somehow get them, go ahead, try them out, and if you are interested in it, then they're obviously really nice and you will not be disappointed. And now finally moving on to a company that has made actual figures is 3A. Now 3A you might have heard of, they're not too well known, but they've made a decent amount of stuff, and they have made a pretty good amount of Halo figures, some better than others. We'll get to the ones that people just think are terrible in a little bit, but overall I'd consider them mostly a positive. So obviously, they did make a Halo 4 Master Chief, and as you may or may not know, a lot of people don't like it. It's said to be extremely overpriced, be made out of cheap material, have a bad paint job, and overall just be a really horrible, crappy figure. And overall, the 3A Halo 4 Chief isn't good, and I can't really recommend that you buy it, especially for the price. It's mostly sold at most online retailers, and even in stores at some places. Now before we move on to the others, they did make more Halo 4 figures like their Gabriel Thorn, which I haven't heard too much about, but it seems different. I like Gabriel Thorn's design. He was a pretty terrible character in Spartan Ops, but his figure does seem decent. They also made a Spartan Recruit, which was a Bambaland exclusive, which I actually do really like the Recruit design in Halo 4, and I just like the colors of them. If you guys remember, they mainly appeared, I believe, the first time I saw them was in that mission Reclaimer with the Mammoth in Halo 4, and I just do really like their design and colors, so I wouldn't mind getting that figure just because I really like how it visually looks. They also produced some Halo Reach figures, like a Carter, which I think looks really good, and it's probably one of the most well-known 3A figures. It's the one that mostly shows up a lot. It's even the one that's on the thumbnail of this video, so it's pretty well-known, and you can also get this on Amazon right now for $170, so it's not insanely bad and overpriced, so if you're a huge Reach fan, then you may be interested in that. If you are a huge Reach fan, but you just hate Carter for some reason, because he was kind of bland in the campaign, then you could also get their Emil figure, which obviously, Emil has an awesome design, and the 3A Halo figures always have cool features and accessories, not just in the Emil figure, but in all the others. They have like light up visors or helmets, do different things. They have like batteries you can put in them, and it's just really cool. The idea of it's cool, the execution in a lot of figures isn't great. So for me, there's not much to say on the figure. Since I haven't heard a ton of negative things on the Emil one, it just looks really cool, and you might be into it if you love Reach or Emil, or even just his design, which most people do. And also very similar to the Carter figure is a Spartan Mark V Commando, which is very similar. Pretty much the color is the only huge difference, maybe a couple like shoulder pieces that are different, but it does look really cool. And finally, at the end of the 3A figures is actually one of my favorites, which is a Spartan 5 Mark EVA, and it does look really cool. I actually really wouldn't mind having this since I just love how it looks and it just looks awesome. I just love the Reach inspired EVA design. I just love the accessories, the color, everything about it just looks really cool, and it's a design I wouldn't mind having for my Spartan in Reach, or just the armor I wouldn't mind wearing. It just looks really cool. So yeah, that's it for all the Halo collectibles for this video. 3A, Slideshow, Sideshow, and Weta have all for the most part made really awesome Halo collectibles that are obviously really high quality and for the most part well made. I don't think we'll ever see Halo statues or figures from these manufacturers ever again really. 3A maybe, but definitely probably not Weta, and definitely probably not Sideshow ever again. But the ones we do have I think are awesome, and it's cool to look back on them. So tell me in the comments below what you guys think about these Halo collectibles. Do you have them? Do you have any interest in buying them? And what do you think about just the Weta collectibles overall? Because I know you guys probably love those because I love them and they look really cool. So tell me in the comments what you guys think about what we talked about today, and I will have part 3 out at some point somewhat soon. That will be covering more kind of Square Enix, the PlayArts Kai figures and those, along with some others. And thank you guys for watching. Majestic Gaming.